su'il khatima and husn al-khatima, the good ending and the bad ending of the people, and how they died, and even after the death, what happened to their body, some good signs and some bad signs. So, and this, we go through this for ibrah, for lesson. So we also, we try our best when we hear the good signs, a person is dying in a good condition and in a good way, and things, the signs that we go through the body, through the story, we say, Ya Allah, make us among those people who die in this condition. And when we hear that the person is dying and there's a smell coming out of his body and his face is black and etc., we should say, Allahumma, na'udhu bika, and we seek refuge from you to die like this death. So today's story is about the signs, the good signs that shows in the body. Now, for example, if a person dies on Friday, we say, wallahi, it's a good sign, a person died on Friday. So we know these things, normally. A person dies and mashallah, his face was shining. Or one of the signs that we sometimes all witness, that a person died and the janazah, the followers of the janazah in thousands or hundreds of thousands. So we all make these signs that, okay, inshallah, these are the good signs of this person, of his good ending, etc. So the Shaykh is mentioning here that sometimes you see one sign, sometimes you see two signs in a dead body, in a dead person. And he said especially the sign when the mughassil, when the one who's giving ghusl, he is the one who is doing it, he will see. Maybe he is seeing it in front of him, but maybe the person, who's standing there just to watch, maybe he will not see it. Or maybe someone will see it who's standing and, Allah gave him that sense to see, and the other person will not, see it. So there are a couple of them you can sense. But the Shaykh said that this is first time in my life that I saw 7 signs in one body. 7 signs in one body that I was astonished. I was surprised at what this man did in his life. So first of all, the Shaykh got a call. Shaykh, come to our house. Our father passed away. We want you to give him a ghusl. He said, inshallah. He went all the way to the house. The house is a very simple house, not very big. And he went inside. He said, where is your father? So he said, our father is under the stairs. The stairs. Sometimes there's a space, and this space normally in a way that there is no ventilation, there is no air condition, there is no enough light. So the Shaykh says, why are you keeping your fathers there? The place is not physically is good. So the sons said, we don't have any other place for ghusl. This is the only one place we have in our small house. The Shaykh says, yallah, no problem. He went inside that place, a small tiny place. And he says, normally, if you keep the body in a place that there is no air, no ventilation, 4 to 6 hours, you will start smelling the smell of the body, and the body start, releasing liquid and smell. So he said, anyways, I went inside. So the first thing that we do as a mughassil, as those who give ghusl to the body, they said, again, I mentioned that they will put their elbow or this side of the hand on the chest and on the tummy, and they slightly push it. Why? Because anything inside the body, from the waste, from the filth, that comes out from the private part. So he said that happens with anybody. So it depends. Now we have to put the kafan or the portion, small kafan, wrapped to the body, and then we slightly press to the stomach. And it normally, things comes out from the private part, so they have to change the kafan. They throw the first garment or the piece of cloth, and then they put the other one. And then they put the other one, and sometimes it goes to the 11th time. 11th time that the person is releasing from his body. Now, this guy, he said, okay, I changed his clothes, I wrapped him in a kafan, and I start slowly pushing his stomach. He said, I did it first time, nothing came out. Second time, nothing came out. Third time, nothing came out. So the Shaykh realized this is the first time, first of all, And again, we don't maybe understand this, but the Shaykh saying this is kind of impossible. That a person is dead, he cannot control his muscles, his body, anything, nerves, nothing. and still we are pressing his stomach and nothing is coming out. So he said, after the third time, I didn't do anything, but I realized that this is the first sign, or one sign that mashallah this man is inshallah in a good status. Now after giving the ghusl, he realized that the man is dead. The man is dead and his finger is like this. Subhanallah. All the time he is dead and his finger pointing like shahada. Now the Shaykh is saying the dead body, normally you can still put some hot water or put some hot towel on the body. If the hand is like this, you keep putting hot water and then you make it straight. If the hand is closed, you can keep putting the hot water and you can open it. Now the body was still soft, and the Shaykh is trying to open the hands and it goes back. The Shaykh is trying to open the hand and it goes back. The Shaykh says that it shows, by the way, when I wrap him, it will show something is different than the entire body, stick out. So he said, I try to make the hand straight and it comes back. So the Shaykh says, well, keep it as it is. The man died in this condition, I will not do anything to it. So this was the second sign that subhanallah his shahada, his index was pointing like a shahada and he died like that. Now after the ghusl and after everything, he brought with him as normal, they bring sidr, one of the kind of herbs that they put it on the body. They bring some atar, some fragrance and some karfoor and some of the things. So while he is asking the son of the dead person that, can you bring me that bag so I can remove the stuff? So while he is taking out the atar, he starts smelling some unusual, amazing fragrance. So the Shaykh thought that this fragrance is one of the sons, those who are standing here. He put it, and the Shaykh start thinking that, what, this is amazing, atar. After the ghusl, I will ask the son to give me some so I can put it on the father. Even though what I have is good quality, but this is something amazing. And the sons thinking that this smell coming from the Shaykh, and after the kafan and everything, they will go and ask the Shaykh that, can we borrow from you this wonderful atar, wonderful smell? And this is keep increasing and increasing and increasing until they put their own fragrance that the Shaykh got on the body, but that what the other one was overcoming everything. The smell that was coming, and they don't know, yet they don't know. Still, the Shaykh is thinking that this is from the sons. The sons is thinking, they are thinking that it's from the Shaykh. Still, when they came to know, when they wrapped them in the kafan, after the putting the atar, the Shaykh said normally they put the atar where? To the places of sujood, on the forehead, on the nose, on the hands, on the legs, on the knees. So after putting it, they wrapped him and they took him to the masjid. Now when they went to the masjid to pray, the Shaykh who prayed in the masjid, he is still alive and he is still imam of the masjid for last 15 years. So before they pray, he got up, the Shaykh, and he says, Ya Nas, O people, one of the light of this masjid, one of the nur of this masjid has gone, make dua for him. So the Shaykh is listening, but he didn't even figure it out what exactly the imam meant by the one of the nur, one of the light of the masjid has gone, make dua for him. Okay. So the Shaykh says, you will come to know about this later on, what the imam meant. But amazingly, that smell is spread inside the masjid, that everyone literally can smell that smell. That was starting from the home. And everyone wants to know that, sometimes normally we put perfume, right? But sometimes you smell perfume maybe from your friend. Sometimes you smell, okay, you just keep it into yourself, Sometimes you really ask the person that, what is this perfume? I really like it, I want it. Where do you get it from? You get serious. People got into that extent that, where is this smell? Where it's coming from? And who put it? And we want it. And it went all the way to the masjid. So anyways, after making salah on this person, they took him to the grave. Now what happened? This was the fourth sign, the atar, the good smell that is coming from him. Now they took him all the way to the graveyard. Now everyone, I'm sure, you saw the graveyard, how it is. These are, bricks, or sorry, these are the holes next to each other. And obviously, the Prophet ﷺ said, either this small ditch, either it's Rawdatun min Riyadil Jannah, either it's a garden of one of the gardens of the heaven, or Hufra min Hufar al-Niran, or it's a ditch of one of the ditches of the hellfire. So he said, normally, it's very difficult if you go inside the grave. It doesn't matter, even if it's winter, if you go inside the grave, you will sweat, because it's nothing. It's just a square, and you are in the middle of a place. You will literally sweat. But what happened? He said we were in the middle of summer. The temperature was 45 Celsius, and he says the time I put myself inside, the Sheikh said, the time I put myself inside the grave, it was freezing cold. It was freezing cold. That he said I couldn't stand. I started shivering. That cold the grave was, and we were praying Dhuhr or Asr prayer. It was really hot. And he says, into the extent that we want to keep the body almost, to stay until to fix him. He said, I cannot put my hand on the wall, on the turab, on the sand. That cold. He says, where this freezing cold air is coming from? He said, I have no idea. So this is another sign that he said I felt, and then the entire grave itself, it filled with the smell. The same smell that was coming from the house all the way to the masjid, all the way to the grave. At that point, Sheikh says, I realized that this fragrance coming from the body itself is not our fragrance. After putting the body, doing the dafn and everything. Now these are the 5, things that happen to the person. Now this is what the Sheikh witnessed, by himself, until they made the dafn. And Sheikh saying that I have a habit, when I see these things, I will never leave this case as it is. I have to close it by going and checking and investigating that how this person died and what he used to do. So he said immediately the second day I went to the house of this person, even though I don't know him, but with the paper that they have, the address is written. He said I went to the Azza, to the condolences, to the place. So I saw people are sitting here, so they went, Salaam alaikum, he said, and then those people sitting, what do you know about this man who died? Wallahi, all we know that he was a good person, he was among those who pray, and nothing. He used to go to pray, home, pray, masjid, home, that's all. I said, this is not enough. Then he started asking the other people, same people, they said, Wallahi, we don't know much about him. We used to see him in the masjid, he's a very good man. So he said, no, but I want to know more what he used to do. So one of the guys, he said, see, that side, the son is sitting there, go and ask the son, maybe he can tell you more. So he went all the way to the son. He said, Assalamu alaikum, I'm the sheikh who gave the ghusl, etc., etc. I want to ask you something. He said, Tfaddal ya sheikh, what you want to ask? He said, what your father used to do. You was with me standing in the maghsala, in the place where we gave the ghusl. And you saw many things from the starting, and subhanAllah, I missed one point. While they are giving ghusl under the stairs, the father is saying, I saw the face of this person and it's glowing. The sheikh said that I saw the person who died, the father of the son, and his face is glowing. There is something glow. So the sheikh says maybe either it's sweat or it's glowing. Whatever, Allahu Alam, what is this? We don't know. So the sheikh says, let me go and get some cotton and just wipe the face. Maybe it's either oil that comes from the face, or it's sweat. But he wiped everything, the face is glowing. And the sheikh says the lighting in the room was very far, it was one bulb there. But the sheikh says, I want double check that where is this reflection is coming from, where is this glowing coming from. So the sheikh, there is a light. So the sheikh tried to just put his hand next to his face to see where is the reaction, where is the reflection. So he did like this, and looking at the face, mashallah, is glowing, nothing. So the sheikh realized that this man is mashallah good. And then the finger, then the smell, and all these things was at the same time. All the way when they took him to the qabr, to the grave, and the grave was cold, this was another sign. After that, they made the dafn, all the way when the sheikh went to the house, asking the person, all the way went different people until he went to the son. And then he sat with the son and he said, Sheikh, son, you saw what I saw. Now I want to tell me about your father. So now son is saying, my mother told me about, her husband, who's that person, that this man, first of all, he never ever, that was the sheikh, the imam of the masjid. Mainly the mother said that he never ever missed any fasting day in his life. So he used to fast 13, 14, 15, the middle days, the ayyam al-bid, the white days of the month. He used to fast every day since I got married to this person. He never misses Monday and Thursday. And on one day when he died, I came to him in the night and I told him that, wake up, I'm bringing for you the leban and the tamar, so you can just have your meal, the pre-iftar meal, the pre-suhoor meal. So you will have. So he got up and he says, no, I'm not feeling, I just have some pain on my chest, just give me the water. So she went and she got the water and he started drinking, and then while the person is drinking water, the mother is saying that I can hear literally voices coming from his chest. And this is also known that when a person is dying, there are some voices normally comes from the chest. So she realized that there is something unusual going on. She ran away, she woke up the sons and she said, take him to the hospital right now. So subhanAllah, so his intention was, when he died, his intention was to fast. So it's considered as he's fasting. They took him to the hospital, the doctor saw him, the doctor says, go and take him to the ICU or the intensive care center. They'll put him there because they saw that this is something critical. Then what happened? Normally when there is a person in ICU, they bring a nurse or a junior doctor to sit, not for the patient to see and read the things on the monitor. So the guy is sitting there and he's reading Quran. Now the person who's talking this thing, who was sitting with the father, and Sheikh went through all these people to get what these people saw. So he said, now while I'm reading Quran and sitting, and I don't care about who's there and what's his condition, my concern is to just read the things, the blood pressure, the heartbeat, etc., whatever. So he said, while I'm reading Quran, and now everyone knows about the heartbeat, right? The heartbeat. And when the heartbeat goes straight, what means? It's dead. So he said, while I'm reading, I saw ding. So he just started looking at it. The screen was straight. So obviously he saw the screen, and then suddenly he saw something is moving. So he saw, while he is dead, he did like this. Subhanallah. While the heart is straight, he saw the body, and the body was like this. He saw something moving, so that's why he saw the finger was like this. So he freaked out. He closed the Quran. He went outside to call the doctors and the senior doctors and whatsoever. They came, they did the whatever is needed from the necessary things, pushing him for the breath and all these things, and the person is dead. But the last thing that this person saw, that his finger was raised while the monitor is giving you straight beep. Subhanallah. So this is what he said to the Sheikh. Then Sheikh remembered who? The Imam. What the Imam said? Who remember? The Imam who prayed? That one of the nur of the masjid, we just lost it. So he went all the way to the Imam. He said, Sheikh, I'm the one who gave the ghusl, I'm this and this person. He introduced himself. Now you said one word. You said that we lost one of the nur of the masjid. What you mean? He said, well, this person that I'm talking about, he said, I know him from last 15 years. I'm an imam of this masjid for 15 years. He said, there is not a single day, there is not a single fard that I come to the masjid and this person is before me in the masjid on the first row. He comes most of the time before salah, and every time he comes before me, into the extent that I feel jealous, the good jealousy, that I'm imam, I am hafiz Quran, I'm this and that, but this man is like beating me all the time. Every time I come to the masjid, he's there. into the extent that the Haris, the janitor of the masjid, he is like, this man is like, really making my life difficult. Why? Because every time when I come and open the Fajr, especially the Fajr and Isha, he said, these two prayers, this man is giving me tough time. Who's saying that? Haris. How? He says, every time I come and open the Fajr, I find this man is sitting at the door of the masjid and reading the Quran. Okay, I open the door of the masjid, we go and pray. Normally after Salat al-Fajr, most of the people, what they do, they go home back and they sleep. And this person, he never leave. And the Haris saying, I want to sleep. I want to sleep. I want to close the door. But this man is sitting in the masjid. So he said, he used to give me a tough time. And after Isha, same thing. After Isha, everyone leaves the masjid, we close the door. He sits until the last person leaves. If anyone is sitting there, he will sit and read the Quran. So when the last person leaves, he leaves after it, he closes the lights, and then he leaves the masjid. So he said, from last 15 years, I never saw this man is late. Neither, he is absent. Neither, he is late, that I come first and he is coming late. So he said, that's the reason I call him, he was the light of the masjid. He was the nur of the masjid, and we lost this person. So subhanAllah, so these are, subhanAllah, 7 signs that the Shaykh mentioned, that all these things that came into one person, obviously, this is a good ending. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us among those who are, mashallah, doing, these things. And if one sign, showed, into us, once we are dead, we feel happy, or some other people will feel happy for us that, alhamdulillah, he died while he's fasting, he died, he's raising the finger. But imagine one person with 7 signs that the body is smelling, the face is glowing, and mashallah, nothing came out, the waste from his body, and the qabr was cool, and all these things. And until even when his heart was dead, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made him to raise his finger. And obviously, what the meaning of the raising the finger? The shahada. So that even the doctor, or the junior doctor, was saying that even when he raised the hand, he was having the oxygen on his, so I couldn't see. But that means 100% that he said the shahada from his mouth, and he raised the finger and he died like that. So I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us among those people, or at least to make us among those who, nas'a, we run, and we among those who are keen to be among these people, to do the salihat, to do the good and righteous deeds. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. Jazakum Allah khair, wa sallallahu sallam ala nabiyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in.